Yo, we got to talk about Real Madrid's 4-2 win over Sevilla because this was a massive game and the boys had no choice but to go out there and pick up those 3 points. And they got the job done. Now, heading into the January transfer window, Real Madrid are sitting second in La Liga and they're only a point off of Atleti. And both of us have a game in hand. So the title race is wide open. And we'll get into that later in the video. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was super impressed with what I saw from Madrid against Sevilla. More so in the first half. You got Mbappe scoring from outside the box. You got Valverde with another screamer. And then Rodrygo got the 3rd goal as well. How many times this season have we scored 3 goals in the first half? That was arguably the best first half performance that we've seen. Now, that's not really saying much because we've been shit in a majority of the first halves that we've played in. This is why we're called second half FC. So when I see us looking so clinical and scoring bangers in the first half, us looking so good in the final third, it gets me excited. And I do want to say, we looked that good in attack, and Vinicius wasn't available for this match. He was suspended. So we weren't even at full strength. But guys, this is not a match reaction, right? If you guys want to see my full thoughts on the game, then you got to go check the video that I dropped after my watch along. But what we're going to be talking about is 5 things that I took away from this game. Now, I need you to smash that like button, right? Subscribe to the channel, and then get in the comment section and let me know some things that you took away from this match. Let's get it. The first thing that I'm taking away from this match is that the title race is wide open. You see us sitting second right behind Atletico Madrid, and we both have a game in hand. And I remember back in October when everybody wrote us off after we lost against Barcelona in El Clasico. And I tried to tell people, it's not over yet. But everybody just was shitting on us, right? Everybody was talking about how trash we were, how signing Mbappe was a mistake, how there's no team chemistry, how we're going to be cooked this season. And they all crowned Barcelona the La Liga champions way back in October. Funny how they're below us now. And we have played 1 less game than them. So what are the excuses? Barca fans, what happened? Now, I am annoyed that we're second because we've had a few opportunities this season to go top. If we would have just gotten a victory over Vallecano, then we would have capitalized on Barcelona's poor form because they have fallen off a cliff. Barcelona look trash nowadays. And we were so focused on what Barca were doing that we didn't even realize how well Atletico Madrid were playing, how many wins in a row they had. And to be honest, from an unbiased POV, I think it's fair that Atleti are top of the table because Barcelona kept dropping points, Real Madrid were dropping points. It seemed like those 2 clubs didn't want to take the lead. So Atletico Madrid came in and said, okay, I'll take it. Now, do I think Atleti will be able to maintain the form that they're on? Absolutely not. Do I think Antoine Griezmann will finally win his first league title? Absolutely not. These guys are like an elephant in a tree. It's going to come down. These guys don't have the talent like that to continue this form. I think that we have by far the best squad in the league, and I think that we are going to be in for a massive second half of the season. I know that the start of this season was not that good. I remember how poor we were playing, but we were still managing to find ways to get dubs or even draws. And here we find ourselves involved in the title race after everyone told me that Barcelona won it in October. This is why you never doubt Real Madrid. You see? Because Barcelona are ass. They can't handle that kind of pressure. And now we are going to take advantage of it. I fully believe that Real Madrid should be considered the favorites for this title. Now, since I've started watching this sport, I've never seen us win back-to-back leagues. And I'm hoping that we do it this season. The January window is right around the corner. I'm going to need the board to spend some money because I don't know how long we can survive with all these injuries that we've been sustaining. Our back line is super thin. We need to spend money if we want to be involved in the later rounds of these competitions that we're going to be involved with. So, look, guys, the title race is open, right? Barcelona are still involved as well, but I just think they've fallen off. And again, I don't believe that Atleti are going to be able to maintain this form. So the question that I have to you is that if you had to pick somebody to win it right now, which team would you put your money on? The second thing that I'm taking away from this match is that maybe Camavinga needs to start at left back for the remainder of the season. I think that he had a very good performance against Sevilla. And if we're being honest, he's probably the best option at that position that we have. We all know Camavinga can either run as a DM or as a central midfielder or as a left back. And he can do those jobs at a very high level. We've seen Camavinga cook at left back before. And I know that he doesn't prefer to play there. But I think we got to utilize him in that position because he is better than Fran Garcia and Ferland Mendy. Defensively, he's sound. And on the ball, he can contribute in attack as well. Now, I don't think that Camavinga is a better crosser of the ball than Fran Garcia is. But I'd be willing to sacrifice that for the defensive presence that he offers us. I think Camavinga is a perfect blend of Fran Garcia and Ferland Mendy. Now, maybe you guys can get in the comment section and let me know. But Fran and Mendy were both on the bench for this match, and neither of them got brought on. I don't know if they were dealing with an injury, or I don't know if Carlo just doesn't rate them anymore. But when I saw that Camavinga was starting at left back, I was very surprised. But I didn't mind it because, again, we've seen him cook at that position before. And I think in bigger matches, we definitely should think about using him there. Because when we're going to be going against tricky wingers, you need somebody that's solid at that position defensively. Now, Ferland Mendy has fallen off of a cliff this season. I don't think he's anywhere near the levels that he was last season. So I think he is a bit of a liability. Fran Garcia is not that good of a defender. So he is a liability as well. But Camavinga is not. Now, what I will say is that for their first goal, Camavinga, he was caught out when they put that cross in to get the goal. So, yes, he's not the best left back, but he's very good when he plays there. And I would consider him for that position, especially if we don't bring in anybody during that January window. Because I just think that both the left backs that we have right now are liabilities. Again, Fran Garcia, very good on the ball. He's good at overlapping. He's a great crosser. But when he has to sit back and defend, especially when teams have a very good winger, I don't feel confident. Ferland Mendy, he should be very good defensively, right? That's his bread and butter, is defending. But this season, he's gotten cooked a lot. And then if you want to add the fact that he's not that good going forward, right? Ferland Mendy can't overlap. He's not really somebody that's going to be putting crosses into the box. So you're kind of losing a bit of that offensive dynamic if Mendy's out there. This is why I'm saying Camavinga makes a lot of sense at left back because he can defend at a high level, and then when he's on the ball, he can progress it up the pitch. Camavinga is arguably the best ball progressor that we have in the side. So I'm not saying every game put him at left back, but I think in the bigger matches, maybe that's just the option that we go with. But if you guys know why Fran Garcia or Ferland Mendy were not used in this match, get in the comment section. Maybe I missed something. The third thing that I'm taking away from this game is that defensively, we are weak. Now, you heard me at the beginning of this video praise how well we did in the final third. And then I talked about the fall off that we had after we went up 3-0. And that's large in part because of our defense. These guys get caught napping all the time. And I'm more so talking about the center backs. Rudiger and Tchouaméni today were very mid. I think that our fullbacks were solid. But as I said when I was talking about Camavinga, he was a part of the problem for that opening goal that Sevilla had. Tchouaméni, what are you doing? How are you not defending that ball better? I'm telling you this right now, chat. If you want us to concede goals, and if teams want to score against us, all that they have to do is put that ball into the box early. And the defenders have no idea what's going on. Again, I want to ask, why is Raul Asensio not starting? Carlo Ancelotti, you are making a massive mistake by keeping him on the bench. Remove Tchouaméni out of that back line. Put the midfielder back into midfield and put the center back, who's been playing at a very high level, back to the position that he was cooking in. I say this every single time. And the thing is, I rate Tchouaméni, and I do believe he can do a decent job at center back. But I just don't think that his performances at that position have been better than Asensio's. I think Rudiger this season, he has dropped off massively in terms of his performances. This guy does not look like the same player that we saw last season. Last season, Rudiger was arguably a top 5 center back in the world. This season, he just looks okay. Now, he's played a lot of minutes because we don't have a choice. After Militao went down, who else is there to rely on? So, yeah, Rudiger is going to be playing damn near every single game unless he gets an injury. But our center backs, it's just not looking that good at the moment. And with the January window coming up, I'm hoping that we can address this position. I would have signed Sergio Ramos after the Osasuna game. He's a free agent. He's a legend at the club. He knows what it means to play for us. He's been involved in winning a lot of trophies and scoring big goals, an aerial threat as well. I don't see why we just don't go get him. I know that he didn't leave the club on the best terms, but fucking hell, we're struggling right now defensively. There's no reason that we should have conceded those 2 goals. Because when Luke Bacchio scored, he cooked Asensio. The right side of our defense for that second goal was non-existent. Again, we need defensive reinforcements. We are 1 injury away in that back line from possibly playing Jesus Vallejo. I'm not trying to see that, chat. But I think our fullbacks today were solid. Lucas Vazquez, he had a good game, to be fair to him, right? Lucas Vazquez, I've been very critical of him. He's been a player that I thought needed to be dropped. But with how good we were in possession, this is where you see Lucas Vazquez thrive, is overlapping, right? Putting the ball into the box, whether that's short passes or crosses, because Lucas Vazquez is not a right back. He is a winger. But today, he had a solid performance, and he got the assist, I believe, for Rodrygo's goal, if I'm not mistaken. So, fullbacks, yeah, Camavinga was at fault in terms of with that first goal alongside Tchouaméni. But I think they were decent today compared to what the center backs offered. Put Raul Asensio back at center back, put Tchouaméni in the midfield, and then go into the January window and bring in some reinforcements. I'm not saying that we got to go sign a Saliba or a Bastoni in January, but you got to give me some other options because we have a big second half of the season coming up. And what are the odds of us not getting any more injuries? So fix up that back line. The fourth thing that I'm taking away from this match is that Thibaut Courtois is human, because that performance today was very mediocre from who I believe is the best goalkeeper in the world. Now, I'm not getting onto Courtois, right? I have a lot of patience for him because he has bailed us out so many times. I think he's been arguably our best player this season. We would have lost. a few more games if it was not for him making big save after big save after big save, especially with how shit we like to start off matches. So do not think that I'm about to go crazy on Courtois, but that performance was not good enough. We looked shaky when he was trying to play out from the back. You guys saw he had to make a pretty big save because he gave the ball away from the goal kick in a dangerous area. And then he also got beat at his near post for that second goal. That's just things that you don't really see happen with Thibaut Courtois. So, not the best performance, right? I think recently it has been a bit shaky for him. I'm not talking about the Intercontinental Cup final. I'm more so talking about the Vallecano game. I think Courtois was shaky in that match as well. So his form lately has not been the best, but I still do rate him. I still think that he is the best goalkeeper, but he's got to fix that form, brother, because we know that we are a team that likes to give other opposition a few chances. And when teams are playing a high line and when they're pressing, I need Courtois' ball distribution to be a little bit better. I need his shot stopping to look a little better. Like that Luke Bacchio goal, he saves that 10 out of 10 times. But today, it just went in, and it was a good shot, right? I'm not trying to take anything away from the attacker, but usually my goalkeeper handles that pretty easily. But I think now we are starting to see Thibaut Courtois' form dip just a bit. But again, I think of all the players, he deserves arguably the most grace because of how many big saves he's made for us this season. And to be fair to goalkeepers, right? When they make mistakes, it gets highlighted a lot more because a goalkeeper's mistake generally leads to a goal, right? But we see midfielders, we see attackers, these guys make mistakes for 90 minutes and they get away with it. But if you're a goalkeeper or if you're a defender, right, in that back line, you literally cannot afford to do anything wrong. You have to be perfect. So again, Courtois, not the best performance, right? I definitely hope that this little break that we're about to get brings him back to his best form with him being rested. But yeah, man, shaky performance from him. And look, it is what it is. It was still good enough for us to get the dub. And as I said, after he gave the ball away in that dangerous position, he immediately got back and made a huge save for us because this game could have probably had another goal in it for Sevilla if he didn't make some of the saves that he did today. So, yeah, man, let me know what you guys thought about Thibaut Courtois in this match. The fifth and final thing that I'm taking away from this match is that Mbappe is almost back to his best. And I think that we are in for an Mbappe masterclass in the second half of the season. His form has turned around. He's no longer struggling. He's getting more clinical. He looks more sharp. His decision-making looks better in the final third. I think he had his best game as a Madrid player against Sevilla. The goal that he scored was phenomenal. I don't know what the hell Sevilla's midfield and defense was thinking by giving Mbappe so much space on the edge of the box. Are they crazy? I know that Mbappe this season hasn't been the best. His form has been up and down, but you should never be leaving a player of his level, of that ability, with that much space on the edge of the box. What a strike. He also got the assist for Brahim Diaz. So Mbappe, it's looking like it's starting to turn around for him. And this is all that we asked, was that he gets more clinical. I tried to tell people that Mbappe playing as the striker was not the issue for Real Madrid because he was always putting himself in good scoring positions. The issue that I had with Mbappe is that his finishing has been shit. But lately, he's looking more clinical, chat. And he is looking a lot more comfortable playing as the striker. I'm telling you, I think that Mbappe is about to go crazy the second half of the season. His performances have gotten better week in, week out. And I know that there's going to be people who get in the chat and say, you wanted Mbappe dropped. You didn't want him starting games. And guess what? You're damn right. I don't think that Mbappe should have been starting those games week in, week out when he was playing shit. Why are people not allowed to say that? That's called not being biased. We all know that Mbappe is a top player. But I don't believe that anybody should be starting week in, week out when they're not performing. I don't think anybody should. Not Vinicius, Valverde, Jude, whoever. If you are putting in multiple consecutive stinky performances, you deserve to be dropped. And then when your form picks up, guess what? You will be praised. And now that Mbappe's form has picked up, he's getting the proper praise. That's what happens when you're not biased. But big up to Mbappe today. Massive game, right? He did win player of the match. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my player of the match was Rodrygo. But if you want to give it to Mbappe, I have no problems with that because he was on smoke today. And I'm telling you, he's starting to look like his PSG self. I don't know what Carlo has done to start to unlock this player, but keep doing it. Because I would say since the Bilbao match, Mbappe, yeah, man. I mean, look, I'm very happy. Very happy. He's not had that many weak performances lately, right? I do want to show you guys a few stats concerning Mbappe, right? And mind you, this is with him being mid for a majority of this season. So look at this, guys. Players to score 10-plus goals this season. Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha, Budimir, and now Kylian Mbappe. And this is with him being mid. Do you know how crazy that is, chat? Even though Mbappe's been shaky this season, he still finds himself up there in the La Liga Golden Boot race. And everybody talks about how good Rafinha's been playing. Everybody's been talking about how well Lewandowski's been playing. But look at who's catching up to them. Interesting, right? Another stat that I want to talk about with Mbappe is this one. And big up to StatMuse FC. He says Real Madrid players to score a goal and assist a goal and also create 5+ chances in a single La Liga game this season. Mbappe versus Sevilla and Mbappe versus Espanyol. Now, if you guys remember, around the time that we played Espanyol was when we also played against Alaves and Atletico Madrid. And we played pretty well in that little 3-game run. And then our performances just dropped off again. But look, Mbappe, he has been impactful this season despite his poor run of form. Now, those are the 5 things that I learned from Real Madrid's 4-2 W over Sevilla. But I want to know, what are you guys saying? Get in the comment section, right? And let me know if you agree with any of the things that I brought up. But I also want to know, what are some things that you took away from this match that I probably didn't talk about? We ended the year on a high note. The title race is wide open. The January window is right around the corner. Let's see what the board does, because that will tell us what our expectations should be for the second half of the season. But get in that comment section, smash that like button, and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss anytime I drop a new video or I go live. Holla Madrid!